When it comes to mental health, I've also reread the email that you sent a year ago. It was around your Phoenix
Oh,
tattoo.
right.
The concept of Phoenix really helped me a lot. Could you help share the viewers out there the story behind your Phoenix and how it helped you?
Well, my birthday's in May, so I always make it a big deal at the end of the month. Take my birthday off. Sometimes I take the whole week, but I always take at least the day off. And right before my birthday, I had a employee who had been with us for almost 2.5 years to just abruptly quit the day before my birthday. It was literally 3:30 p.m. We get off at 5 before my birthday. And it was already hard. We were already short staffed. I'm feeling down. I'm feeling low. I need something to kind of motivate me to kind of get me back going. So all of my tattoos, I have one, two, five tattoos, six tattoos. I have to think about how many I have. Six tattoos. All of them mean something to me. Like when my grandmother passed, that says Gladys Walker. That's my grandmother's name. It's an infinity.
Mm,
It really hurt me, but getting the tattoo, when I look at it, it helped heal me.
mm,
So when I was thinking about what I was gonna do for my birthday at that point, I thought I'm gonna get a tattoo.
mm,
I'm gonna get a tattoo of something that I may be down, but I'm not out. Like I'm gonna come back. What represents that? And then I thought the phoenix. So I got it on my arm. And I usually don't have a whole lot of tattoos on my arm.
mm.
You can see it on, so I
Yeah.
usually don't have a whole lot of visible tattoos except for those two because the rest you really can't see. And I thought, it's me. It's coming back from the ashes, coming back from feeling down, feeling wiped out, to
Mm,
coming back better and stronger. So that is what the phoenix means to me. So when I went to get the tattoo on my birthday, I felt like I was getting empowered. Every time the ink was going in, it was me getting strength. So
mm,
every time I look at it, every time I look at my tattoo, I'm like, you might be down, you're not out. You're coming back like the phoenix, stronger and
mm,
better. Because every day is not a happy day. That's
mm.
life,
Yeah.
right? Every day is not a happy day, but when you feel like it's just heavy, 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 constantly heavy, what can you do? Which is why at that moment is when I started talking about self care at work. That's when I've been heavy on that because I was down. I felt down. I felt burnt out, like the whole 9 yards. And what could I do? The Phoenix getting the tattoo is what helped me get better. And then every day I've been practicing and talking about things that other people can do as well as myself so that they don't get that far down or depressed or sad. And so which is why I talk about self-care at work, which is how the Phoenix came about.
I already thank you before, and I really want to say thank you still, since that really helped me even up until now. And I've also shared that to my brother as well, since there are really just those times where you're really down, and then just knowing that you've always been through this, you're lost, and then you're always so down. Everything seems to not work for you, but then you've been here before, and
That's
then
right.
you've always came back up. And then it's also still surrendering to God. Thank you so much for that one.
Absolutely.
What's the recent advice or the best advice you've got when it comes to career?
So the thing about career is that you want to do something that you enjoy or and that you love, that you're passionate about. If you can. Everybody can't do that. If you're just starting out at work, you don't have the skills to do what you want to do every day and get paid for it. Sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do because you got bills to pay. When it comes to career, you want to remember one, work ebbs and flows. So there are going to be great days and they're going to be not so great days, as it relates to work. But that's what work is. Even when you own your own company, and I own two, you do things that
Mm,
you don't want to do, but you have to because that's work. And when you think about work, don't put all your eggs in work. A lot of people put their happiness into work. Like my work has to give me happiness, or my work has to make me fulfilled. And for some people, it does, but for a lot of people, it doesn't. And you just have to find fulfillment other places. You can find fulfillment in your relationships with your friends or your family or going to church or volunteering. Do not put all your eggs in just your career because then you are just a one-sided person. You're more than your career. You're more than work. Yes, you want to do work that you enjoy. Yes, you want to do work that you're passionate about, but you can still work and not be passionate about your work. You can still work and not necessarily enjoy it because you're paying your bills and you find enjoyment other places. You're not in a box. Everything doesn't have to come from work. You can get fulfillment and love and happiness, everything else outside of work. And it's when people expect work to check all the boxes is when they go wrong. Because even with you, so with you, we'll use
mm,
Victor as an example. He's in school, he's working, he spends time with his family. He spends time with his friends. He
mm,
spends time working on himself. If he just said, I'm just going to do work and work better make me feel happy and work better make me have a relationship with my family, even though you're just doing work. Work better. It's not he's gonna be miserable. He enjoys his work. You do enjoy what you're doing, but you also enjoy spending time with your family, spending time with your friends, being off in another country,
Mm.
learning, getting a career, starting your own company, growing your own company. I mean, all that is not just one thing. And a lot of people put all this stuff on work's shoulder. And it's not work's fault. Work is not going to necessarily fulfill you. You have to get that from other places.
Wow, I really got goosebumps right now. Wow, that is really my first time hearing that, Belinda. Wow, we've been really a huge fan of do the work that you love. Like it's always you work on your passion.
Right. If you work in your passion and you're never working or it doesn't feel
Yeah,
like work.
I've always aimed for that one. And then seeing it that I've embraced the life is in like black and white. It's always gray. It's not always happiness. It's not always sad either. I've always viewed life in that way. But when it comes to work, I haven't viewed it that way.
There's not one person who is 100% happy about their work all the time. Not one
Mm,
person. And which is why you want to find fulfillment somewhere else. Don't
mm,
just put it on work shoulders. You're more than work. When I look at you, Victor, you're more than just working, right? You're a
mm.
whole person. And we
Yeah.
put all these requirements on work, expecting work to give us what we need. And that's not work's responsibility. Work is I'm paying you for this job for this many hours. You
Mm,
do the work, I pay you. That's work.
mm,
Anything more than that is gravy. If we become friends out of it, that's great. If we don't, that's work though. And a lot of people expect it to be work has to be all these things. And work has to, they hire you,
mm,
you do the job, they pay you. That's work. And that's true for all of us because you can be passionate. Like I enjoy my job. I love working. I can work 12 hours, 14 hours and not complain, but it led to burnout for me, a year ago. I was ready to be like, I don't like this no more. But I enjoy my work. I enjoy the people I work with. I enjoy the work that I do. But
mm.
if you don't have more than that, you're just going to burn yourself out and be miserable. And then you're no good to anybody, including yourself, especially yourself.
Wow, wow.
And then I'm gonna add this too as it relates to work.
Mm,
So one of the things, and it has to do with mental health too. One of the things that I do is I have a morning routine. In a perfect world, I do it every day, but I'm not in the perfect world. So there's some days my
mm.
morning routines
Yeah, everyone
passes
does.
me by.
Everyone does. Yeah.
Right. But my morning routine is things that help set up my day. It's
Mm,
the intention. It's the journaling. That's to set my day up so I'll have a good day at work. The exercising. So I'm strong when I'm doing hard things and exercising, then I know I can do hard things at work, right? It translates to that. When I'm journaling, when I'm meditating, when I'm reading, all of these things is I'm giving to myself so that when I get to work, I can show up as my best self. And that helps your mental health. That helps you get through the day, whether you love your job and passionate about it or not. It helps you get through your workday, focused to be able
mm.
to get through, be productive, and then go about your day. So it's important I feel like it's important to kind of set the stage, have some intention before you start work. And you don't have to do all those things, but one thing to kind of get you in the headspace.
Yeah, and I also want to add on to that one. When we do some kind of like morning routines and stuff, the goal is to really not be like 100% perfect. It's really just doing your best. Even though your best today is 20%, that's your
That's right.
best. That is your
That's right.
100%.
And one last thing about career, about work and your career. Where you start may not be how you finish. And we get stuck on your very first job or your second job has to be the end all job. And that's not true either. I went to high school with a guy who started out working, washing dishes in a
Mm,
restaurant to now he owns a restaurant. So when he
mm,
graduated from high school, he was washing dishes. He didn't go off to college. He was washing dishes in a restaurant. And now he owns his own restaurant. So how he started out is not how he ended up in life. You never know
mm,
which direction your life is going to go. So when you are working and you're like, this is beneath me, it's a reason this is the path you're supposed to be on. No one comes in at this.
mm.
No one, unless they have a family member who was very wealthy and be like, come on in, you don't have to have no skills. But the rest of us, we have to start somewhere. You've seen the movie Karate Kid. Have you seen the movie Karate Kid?
Yeah, I've seen the movie Karate Kid.
So in that movie, he wanted to learn karate, and Jackie Chan was like, "No, go wash the car." Nothing
Mm.
to do with karate,
Right,
right?
right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Why am I washing the? What does this have to do with wash the car, painted the fence?
Hang the
Nothing.
clothes.
Hang the clothes. That's right.
Mm.
Nothing to do with karate. And but right when he was like, "This is a waste of time. You're not teaching me anything." All that time, the washing the car, the hanging the coat, was really skills he needed to be good in karate. And
Mm.
we are so used to be like, "That's nothing. That doesn't teach me anything." You don't know what this is really teaching you. And so before
Mm.
you give up and be like, "I'm not doing this. This is dumb." This is meant to teach you something. We don't know what it is. He didn't know. He wanted to learn karate. He was washing the car and taking his coat off and hanging it up. That was the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, he became, karate champion. So that's what I think about work. No matter your age, you start, you don't know how the story is going to end. For any of us, you could be bigger than Gary Vee.
Uh,
We're looking up to Gary Vee, and who knows, 1, 2, 5 years, 10 years, you could be the next Gary Vee, and people are looking up to Victor. Gary Vee,
mm.
who? You just don't know. You follow your path because you don't know what the ending is going to look like.
When I'm really in the happy state, I tend to feel that, oh, I'm doing great right now. I don't really need to have a gratitude note since I'm really happy right now. Those times are really the times where right after that, I get to feel lost and then sad. I just don't know what to do. And then I get to realize that, oh, I haven't been really grateful for the things that I've been receiving right now.
And that's a good point. A lot of people don't practice self-care or, self-care work until they're feeling down.
Mhm.
It's kind of like you don't pray until you need the Lord, right? So people be like, "I'm
Oh,
fine,
no.
I'm fine."
Oh,
You don't
no.
pray. But when you need him, then here you come. When you should be
Mm.
doing it every day. When you should be doing it every day. Same thing with self-care. You should be doing something every day, not just the days that you feel bad, because it makes the good days longer.
Mm.
Not that you will never have a bad day, but it lets you sustain longer. So when you have a bad day, you don't drop all the way to the ground. You drop a little bit, and it's easier to come back up. But when you don't pray or practice self care or gratitude until you're feeling all the way down, then
Mhm.
it's like, I mean, yes, you should still do it, pray and gratitude, but it's harder to get back up to the level because it takes more
Mm.
energy. Instead of if you're doing it every day, maybe it drops a little bit one day, it's easy to pop back up. And it's easier said than done. It's all of us. I mean,
Mm.
me too. So I'm not saying that I'm always like this. I've missed my gratitude days, my morning routine
Mhm.
because I don't have time. I'm in a rush or I'm feeling great. I
Mm.
don't need it today. Same thing. But if you can maintain it, I know when you can maintain it, then when it is a bad day, the bad day is not as bad.
And it's easier to get back up.
It's easier to get right back up.
Okay. I think we could wrap this up as well,
Okay.
Belinda. Thank you so much for having me, Belinda. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on the show.